Now you played pro ball, and then you made the transition to a mental performance coach, which to me, and we were talking about this before we hit record, the correlation between pro athlete and mental performance. I mean, you hear about it, but to be someone that made that transition, did you know as your career was winding down on the field that that was kind of where you were headed? I mean, let's look at a guy like Jason Kelsey right now, who's rumored, as we're recording this, to be retiring, right, from the NFL, from the Eagles. And everyone's like, well, what's next for him? Even my wife was like asking because, of course, she watched the Kelsey series because of Travis Kelsey, because of some lady that Travis
Yeah,
is dating, I think. But they said that he's likely to end up in the broadcast booth, right? Because that's another place that pro athletes end up, or they end up, on as a coach, right? Like
sure.
working, in the organization, like a Dusty Baker or like Don Mattingly or what have you. Did you know that was kind of where you were going to hit? And if not, where was the point where you said this is an area that I'm going to lean into hard?
Sure. Well, first let's back up to that pop singer. Just a quick little anecdote story about
Sure,
her. I remember
sure.
playing in the minor leagues
Uh huh.
when I was in Double A in the Eastern League. We would go down and play Reading, down in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
She's from Reading, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember consistently we would be on the line lining up for the national anthem, and there would be this little skinny girl out with their big old guitar playing the national anthem routinely. And the rest of us, we'd look around and we'd be rolling our eyes. And they would always introduce her as like Redding's, next big star, Taylor Swift. And I remember we'd look and roll our eyes, being like, oh, this poor girl, her parents are just putting her out there. And
Oh.
that just tells you how good a talent evaluators all us minor league baseball players were, and standing feet from her, right? Her playing the national anthem as a young person. But it's cool to see what she's done now. Obviously, I don't know her at all, but I just know where she started. I know all the reps she was getting that no one was seeing. I know the work she was putting in before, she got to where she's gotten to. And so I think we all want the same thing. We all want to feel like we got 2 feet on the ground and we know what's going on, right? I mean, it's just like, and I'm with that. So when I say, I'm not for work-life balance. I think some people get like, oh my gosh, he's trying to run us in the dirt. It's like, no, 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 not even close, right? It's like, I think by in my experience and the conversations I've had, people are trying to leave the office early to go to the game and then have the office phone call in the car ride when they should be talking to their kid, right? Or
Mm.
sending the email at the kid's practice thinking, well, I'm here, it's good enough. It's like you're not there. The kid knows you're not there. You're on your laptop, right? And so, but I think what people really want, like I said, it's like, hey, I want 2 feet on the ground. I want to feel stable. I want to feel like I can walk forward and handle each and every day. And I believe the way to do that is through presence. Presence is the way to experiencing the balance that we all want in our life, right? And so, but I think trying to be in 3 places at one time and do this while I should be there and focusing on that and having my talk to my boss on the phone where the kid's in the back car and just wants to tell me about their school day, right? Or whatever it might be. It's like that's not the way to do it. You're taking on water in the boat, and that's the worst way to feel balance, right? And so what I was hoping to do and what I'm still trying to do is help people change their perspective on like, hey, let's chase presence. Let's chase being present at work. Let's chase being present at home when you get there. Let's chase being present in your communities and let's being all in because that's when you feel most alive, right? And so, how do you do that? Well, the simplest way, there's a lot of ways to do it. It takes training, but for me, the simplest way is how clear and challenging are your goals professionally? And this is the big one, how clear and challenging are your goals personally, right? A lot of people, hey, I'll tell you my to-do list at work. I'll tell you my weekly, my monthly, my quarterly goals at work. Then, hey, personally, what are you running after? Like, what kind of parent you want to be? Like what are you saving for? Like what are some of the trips that you're taking your kids on, right? Hey, tell me those goals. Tell me those things you're growing personally. I don't have any. Well, of course, you know why you think about work while you're at home is because all your goals set professionally, right? And goals demand our attention. And so, of course, I'm going to naturally go back to that or vice versa, right? I mean, sometimes people come to work and maybe they're not as driven professionally. And so all their goals are personal. They can tell you everything they're doing Monday through Sunday, and all those things. And you're like, hey, what are your professional goals? I don't know. I just do whatever they tell me to do. Right. Well, no wonder you're miserable at work because you're thinking about home. Right. And so it's learning to be more intentional in goal setting, right? Being more intentional in who do you want to be? How do you want to show up at work? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up at home? And when you get clarity around those two things, it starts to demand your focus and attention in those spaces, which allows you to be present and be all in where you're at. And all of a sudden you feel like, wow, I feel really balanced with where I'm at right now.
And you get quality results.
Oh, huge, right? And Vardy, I'll tell you this. I share this with people all the time. They're like, like, oh, I just want to spend more time with my friends or family, whatever it might be. And it's like, okay, cool. Hey, check this out. Would you rather spend 3 hours with someone and 2.5 of those hours they're on the phone, texting, scrolling, sending an email, or would you rather spend 45 minutes of just you and me talking, having a coffee, having a great conversation like you and I are doing right now? Well, everyone picks the 45 minutes. So it's not quantity. You don't want more time. What you want is more quality time. And how do you get more quality time is through presence.